What's up everybody? In today's video we're going altcoin shopping because that's where the big money is at, and I'm going to show you why, and I'm also going to show you the best risk returns that I'm looking for this 2021. Reason being is because low market cap coins have been wrecked. Even higher market cap coins have been absolutely wrecked as well, and this is why people are starting to accumulate, and we're trying to follow where the money is at, and we're going to start taking advantage. So here are the 5 best altcoins. To start off with, as we can see here, we can see a tweet that Martini guy retweeted, and Paolo Arduino, I don't have a clue how to pronounce that, but he's showing that the Bitfinex volume in the last 12 hours has been going absolutely insane, if we can see here. That tells me that the dips are being brought up. It shows me that people ain't that scared anymore. Okay, the fear to greed index is still fairly high, but people are starting to buy these dips, and they're starting to buy them aggressively. And every time this happens, it means that things are starting to get more and more bullish. So there isn't that much time left to start purchasing altcoins. Now, if we go over to the next thing, we can see here that this is the whale alert, and what whale alert does is it shows you the big money. Okay, it shows you the big transactions that are happening on like Binance and Coinbase, and it shows you how much money people are putting on exchanges and how much money people are taking off. And we can see here on the whale alert that 25 million USDC, that's about 25 million USD, was actually minted at the USDC treasury. Now the USDC is the Coinbase dollar. Okay, so that's the Coinbase, the company, that's their dollar. Okay, it's the equivalent of like a crypto dollar. And what they have to do is when big money comes on the game, they have to start printing more. Okay, and what this tells me is that people are starting to put more money on exchanges, and they're going to be starting to pull it out. It starts to flow. So you're going to start to be seeing loads of people buying Bitcoin, loads of people buying ETH, and what happens after ETH is it trickles down into altcoins. And if you stay subscribed to this channel, we're going to start to break down different ways of market cycles and how they tend to work. But for now, as you can see here, $25 million is going on to the treasury. So dips are about to get brought up and things are about to get bullish, in my opinion. Now, the first coin we're looking at is called Polkadot. Now, Polkadot, the reason why I'm very bullish on this project is it's already had 50% of its value wiped out. If you have a look here, it got to the highs, it was about $47, and the lows now, it dipped to almost about $18. So as you can see here, about 17. And since then, we've had a slight recovery, and right now we're looking at around about $20. And this is a perfect price for buying Polkadot. Reason being is the parachains are coming out. And if you don't know about the parachains, I recommend looking into this, because most projects that you're invested in are probably built on Polkadot. And the reason why they're built there is because of the parachains. So once the parachains get released this year, shit's gonna go wild, and this is why I'm very, very excited for this. So the parachains, make sure you guys have a look at that. But Polkadot, as you can see here, Polkadot is a higher market cap coin, and this is good for those of you guys that want a little bit more of stable investment, but it's also like backing your other projects, because if any of your altcoins go wild on Polkadot, it tends to be Polkadot that carries it with it. It's kind of like ETH, so it'll be like ETH, Polkadot, and then you've got your altcoins. Okay, the great thing with Polkadot is because it's got such a high market cap, it's got a lot of liquidity, meaning if you want to put in a lot of money, you could just pull that out straight away. The issue is with some of these lower market cap altcoins is as you accumulate, you end up having your bag ends up becoming too big, and you struggle to sell it at the right price. Well, good thing about Polkadot is you can sell it anytime you want. And if you go over here on CoinMarketCap, you go next to overview, you click market, you can see all the different places where you want to buy the coins from. And if you guys haven't got Binance already and you want to get some free discounts on Binance, just head over to the link in my description and you're going to be able to get some free money from Binance. Now the next coin I want to look at today is called Paid Network. Now Paid Network, it gets people paid, let's just put it that way. So have a look at Paid Network. It's been getting absolutely wrecked recently due to launch pads dying off. So most different launch pads right now, they're getting wrecked. It's getting quite hard to get a project that does more than a 5 or 10x. The last few months, launch pads were doing 100x projects anytime. Every project was just going 100x everywhere. And since Bitcoin's been starting to reduce in price, you're starting to see these projects go like this, as you can see, from $6 and just get wrecked constantly. Now, this to me increases my risk to reward ratio, okay? Because buying it at $6, your risk to reward ratio at $6 isn't that good, you know, because you're hoping for like a $60. And that with the market cap, it blows my mind. If you guys watch my last video, you'd understand that you need to start looking at your risk reward ratio. Now here, as we can see, it's been absolutely wrecked all the way down to about 60 cents. So that's a 10x. That's a 10x to where its all-time high was. And do I think it can get to its all-time high? Well, hell yeah, that's why I'm buying this coin. So I like it, and the reason why I really do like it is because they're launching something called Apollo X. Now, Apollo X is a launchpad built on top of Paid Network. That means Paid Network is going to have 2 launchpads, and one of the only launchpads to actually have 2 of them, meaning that you don't have to hold that much Paid Network to be in with a chance of getting on the launchpads. And those of you guys who've seen YFDI, you know that's why I like YFDI, but the only issue with YFDI was it was very expensive per coin. These guys have solved that problem. They have a really low market cap now. You can accumulate thousands of the coin, and that means you're going to be in with a chance of getting into 2 different launch pads. And the first project on Apollo X is called Omni, and Omni is going to be this crazy social media app. They're going to integrate Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, all into one app, and it's all going to be decentralized, so you get paid for using apps. And those of you guys that were here back in 2017, you'd know that those type of apps that you can use and you get paid to use them, they tend to go pretty viral, you know, in and around the community. I remember being on Snapchat in 2017, and there was always this new app to use that you get paid for using, and I'd always just use it, you know, especially when you don't have that much money. It's an easy thing to do to get paid, so they tend to get a lot of downloads. And to be invested into the project early means that you're in the best place to absolutely moon. So definitely recommend checking out Paid Network. You're going to need a few thousand coins anyway to be in with a chance of getting into IDOs and getting into early investments, and this is going to be a great time to accumulate. And as you can see here, it's a $43 million market cap, so still in the larger market caps there. Now that means that your risk to reward midterm, but let's have a look at some higher risk to rewards here. And if you see this chart and you've watched my older videos, you will be absolutely in love with this, because this means the chart is about to go bow. It means it's about to go absolute ballistic. Now this is a coin called Split, and Split was in some of my older videos, and we've had a tough time with the market like everything else, but this is absolutely golden because it means you're going to be able to accumulate. Split to me deserved to be at $2. That's where everybody was buying, and that's what I know the whales, that's where they were starting to average in, and that's why you can see that it's been quite hard for the price to get wrecked. But without a doubt, the market still wrecked the price, and as you can see here, we're currently trading around about 26 cents. All the coins are starting to get put into the supply now, so all the pre-sale has dumped. On top of that, weak hands have sold, so this is a great time to accumulate because it means that there's no more pre-sales left to dump on you, and it also means that big money is going to have to accumulate at these prices because they already sold at like $4 and they sold at $5, so they're going to be buying back very, very soon. Now, what is ShopX? So ShopX is a decentralized way, it's kind of like decentralized NFTs on Shopify. If you guys do drop shipping, you'd understand that it's hard for people to get copied, and ShopX stops you from basically being copied. But if you guys want an example of what I think this will do, have a look here. You can see this is glitch. Now this chart looks pretty familiar, right? And as you can see here, this is January 25th all the way to March. Okay, so it's around about 2 months. And as we can see in Split, if we look here, we scroll down, you can see that this is April, and it's been about 1 month. Okay, this has been 2 months. So you can see that we start very high, we have declines, we have pre-sale dumps, and then it goes down. Well, with Split, what's happened is you've had the pre-sale dumps, it's gone down, and you've also had the market correction as well, and the 50% absolute dumps that we've seen, and then you've had an extra boom. So you can see something that looks pretty familiar. Now, if we scroll across to something more recent, we can see that as soon as the pre-sale starts dumping, it went all the way down to about 10 cents. And then as soon as people need to start buying back in again, once they've sold all their bags, what they do is they start to average in their entries, and then the price starts to go absolute ballistic. As you can see here, this was a 12x from the price, and that was in just 1 month. So it took 3 months for the price to dump, and it only took 1 month for a 12x your money. That means if you put $1,000 in, you've got $12,000 now. And as you can see, the highest the chart went up to was around about 18x, and then it got wrecked. But for me, glitch wouldn't be the best risk reward right now because it's only a 2x to where its old all-time high was. Whereas if we look at Split's done the exact same as what glitch did a few months back, and it's going to be about 20 or 30x to where its all-time high was. And for me, Split's going to hit its all-time high, and it's also going to surpass it. So that's why I'm purchasing a bit of Split. Now this is what I like to call the gamble coin. Now why do we call this the gamble coin? Is because the project, in my opinion, isn't the best, and I'll just say that, I don't really care. But it's only $1 million market cap, meaning you've got 10x potential, 100x potential, whatever. And Spice has been absolutely wrecked recently. My Spice holdings have gone to pretty much zero, and the reason being just because, you know, the prices have been getting absolutely wrecked. But as you can see here, it doesn't take much to shift the price, okay? Because it's only $1 million, that means you only need $1 million trading volume for the price to go absolutely ballistic. And it's going to go up in a straight line, as you can see here. So the reason why I like this is because things like this look to me like they've lost confidence. And what you'll see over time is as the market recovers, you'll start to see bigger YouTubers and you'll start to see bigger investors accumulate these lower market cap coins and then show them on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, let them go up 10x in price, and then they'll sell on everybody. So if you can accumulate these projects before everybody starts to get onto them, especially when they've got a lower volume, as you can see here, the volume is absolutely tiny, then what you'll be able to do is you'll be the first guys in there. So this is absolutely amazing, and believe me, I'm pretty confident people are going to start to accumulate this coin. So I'm going to put in a few $1,000s. It's a little bit of a gamble, it's a little bit of a higher risk reward, but you've got the chance to make 100 times your money, and you can't go wrong on that. You're never going to get that in any other investment. Now the next coin I like is Terrablock. Terrablock is absolutely amazing. It's a great project for newbies. So what Terrablock does is it automatically manages your portfolio. So in situations like this, where when the market's going down like crazy, you need to spread your portfolio, you need to balance your funds, and you need to reduce risk, Terrablock is going to do that for you. Now Terrablock, it's had a tough time, okay? It launched during 40% dips. It launched during a very, very tough time in the market. Now that to me is amazing because it means that you can accumulate more. Now if we'll have a look here, the difference between Terrablock and Spice is the volume is absolutely insane. Terrablock has had $1 million of volume on the project, and it's only $1 million market cap, which to me shows that people are very, very interested in it, just like me. And that means that it's worth accumulating because as soon as pre-sale stops dumping, so remember, you're going to have at least a month for this, okay? So you guys have got a long time for this. But it's worth averaging in, dollar cost averaging it. Because what's going to happen is it's going to look just like Split, it's going to look like just like the old glitch, and then it's going to go absolutely ballistic. So start to average in because the trading volume is very high, and you should, once pre-sale stops dumping in around about a month, you should start to see absolute vertical in this project because people are so confident in it. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you found this very, very useful. I'm starting just to throw these coins out there. If you guys want me to start doing some deep analysis into coins, I'd love to do so, but the last video got a lot more views when I just, you know, threw around the coins, and I think you guys want to know how much money you can make. So that's what I've done in this video. If you want to start buying the dip and you want to pay really low fees and you're from around the UK or Europe, I recommend downloading Swissborg. You'll see the app in the description. And if you're outside of the UK, download Binance or Bybit for some free Bitcoin. Now guys, I hope you have a great day and peace.